Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Golden Opportunities Coaching YouTube channel. Easy for me to say. As my hiccups kick back in, we'll try and push through. Anyway, today we're going to do something a little different. Looking at the monk's mentality. How do people find peace? If you're looking for ways to find peace, release trauma, and do all the things that would be necessary for you to live a more balanced life, this may be a good audio for you. We've got over 600 audios, though, available for your listening pleasure in a variety of topics, and the goal is to be here as often as we can, often daily, many times per week at least, and to bring you audio content. If you're looking for ways to kind of get rid of the negativity in your life, I work with people all the time, all over the U.S., all over the world, actually, in doing that, and would love to help you in that way. You can get in touch with me on Twitter at PO Perception or through my website, which is available in the About Me section of this YouTube page. Would love to be of service to you in that manner. And so, the monk mindset, what are some ways to get there? The first is present moment mindedness. Monks and people with deep spiritual practices understand the truth. The past doesn't matter. The future is a co-creation. All we have is the now. And so the more we are in tune with the now, the more we understand that all we have is the now, the easier it becomes to manage our expectations. We can live from the now, we can make choices in the now, we can do things that make life easier now versus, living in the past and ruminating, living in the future and wondering or worrying. And the more one is committed to doing that, the easier it becomes to manage daily, weekly, and monthly expectations, thereby using our time more wisely. The next is love. Give and receive love openly. Love is unconditional acceptance. Therein lies the problem for most people. When you put conditions on something, it changes from love into expectation. Complete love, universal love, love from a higher source is without expectation. And so, if you need to get more peace in your life, try to release expectations as often and as consistently as you can from others. It doesn't mean you can't have them, but understand that with every expectation you have, you're actually making your life more difficult. It does not mean that you're not allowed to have expectations, but instead it does mean that you often may get yourself into a place, back yourself into a corner where negativity becomes dominant because your expectations aren't met, and then you become exceptionally frustrated, negatively impacted, and at the end of the day, it's not worth the risk, the negative consequence, or any of that. The next is find your purpose and admit if it changes. So your purpose is the thing that drives you. Maybe that's money, maybe that's family, maybe that's fame, maybe that's fortune, maybe that's experience or enjoying, maybe it's touching people's lives. It's different for every person. Don't let someone else tell you what your purpose is, because you won't be able to live it completely. You may be able to live it short term, you may be able to live it to make other people happy for a minute, but you won't be able to live your purpose completely as you would if you're, being authentic with it. And sometimes purposes change. The purpose I thought for my life in my 20s is much different than what I thought throughout my 30s. And as I enter almost 40 coming up this year, it's going to be different in the next few years than it was, certainly 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's a different reality, and you have to know what your purpose is. And if you don't know, find it, explore, enjoy. Life is not as complicated as people make it. Understand that in order to make progress, there will be pain, but when you go through pain, you will make progress. Not everything in life is going to be as enjoyable as you'd like. Not everything in life is going to be as easy as you'd like. There will be times when you have to choose sacrifice. There will be times when you have to choose to focus differently. There will be times when you have to let certain people or situations go. But when you choose a pathway and you are willing to go through the pain of the choice, progress will show itself in one or multiple ways. The next thing to realize is it's worth it to let go of your ego. Look, you are important just like everyone else. And that's the thing. When you put yourself as having unique, useful, meaningful talents, but no better or worse than anyone else, you begin to understand that the illusion of competition that most of society lives under costs us more than it benefits us. Cost benefit analysis on being competitive is most often, for the majority, maybe there's 5% of people or less, where competition or the illusion of it is helpful. But for most people, it destroys you because you start thinking, am I doing good enough? Am I enough? And all of these ego based things. So the more you live without ego, as often as possible, the more progress and peace you will have within. The next thing to consider is let go of the victim mentality. Everyone has been through something. As an abuse survivor myself, physical, mental, emotional, sexual, as a person who has unfortunately buried more people than I'd like to in my life that mattered to me, as a person who has tried to help certain people in my life who unfortunately didn't accept the help. Um, it's very hard to not be that in that victim mentality. It's very hard not to go, oh, woe is me. But here's the truth about victim mentality. Number one, it changes nothing. You can ruminate, you can stay in the loss, you can stay in the sadness, you can stay in the anger, but your circumstances remain the same. Now, the other thing is, people don't care as much as you think they do. Now, here's what I mean by that. Very rarely you'll find a person who's willing to walk you through your process of recovery. And yes, those people exist, many of them professionals. Sometimes they're friends or family members. But more often than not, people are saying platitudes. They're saying things they think they should say to make you feel better, and then they go on about their day, and you're the one stuck kind of holding the bag metaphorically around the life you don't want, the emotions you don't want to feel, and it's yours to clean up. Victim mentality repels more people than it draws to you because each person has been through something, and it's the choice of where to put focus after going through something tragic or difficult that determines success versus stuckness. The next is protect yourself. Go into life with a neutral mindset. Things can be good, things can be negative. You choose what things mean to you, and you can choose where you put your focus. When you go into your life with a neutral mindset, you're not going to get blindsided by somebody that was trying to sneak you, but you're also not going to get so bitter that you can't enjoy the moment of good things. So, neutrality as a resting point is a valuable way to be because then you can choose based on your interaction and your experience with that given moment where you want to go next. The last thing is be willing to put yourself first. If you need rest, if you need meditation, if you need to go swimming, if you need a massage, take time for yourself every day. Make that a discipline. Make that a discipline. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be self centered, but take time for yourself every day. Make sure that part of every day is about making you the center of attention, making you the center of focus so you can achieve what it is you want to in the long, medium, and short runs of things. So hopefully this is helpful. I encourage you to keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.